Hi, and welcome back to the Folio. My name is Bob Fitzgerald, Strategic Account Advisor for Facilisgroup. I'm excited to welcome Andy Griffin of Keepsake Product USA with us today. Andy, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, Bob, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Glad you're here. Hey, so I've got to tell you, 87% of the time I've mentioned your name, I think 100% of the people immediately think Andy Griffin and start whistling the theme song from the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah.
Now, I've got two questions for you on that. One, how often do you hear this?
Yeah.
And two, can you whistle the theme song?
Oh, well, let's just put it this way. I could go back to high school, like the last day. Well, I think it was my birthday or something like that, where the entire cafeteria stood up and whistled it for me. I'm not a great whistler, so if you're trying to get me to do that right now, forget it. But how many times I've heard it? I always say to people when they say it, I go, it's just, if you know Andy Griffith, it just means you're old, dude. That's it. And I'm old too, buddy. I know it too. But if you know Andy Griffith, don't tell me you're listening to the reruns that are still on TV. But if you know it, you're old. But yeah.
See, I'm going to go with the reruns, and there just wasn't anything else on.
Oh yeah,
so
exactly.
I should have anticipated that.
No, all good. All good.
Now, I've had the benefit of receiving one of your amazing boxes at the end of last year, and it was a huge hit around our office. But for those who haven't experienced Keepsake yet, tell us how Keepsake Product USA came to be.
Yeah, so 30 years in being in business. Keepsake's been around for 11. And I started out my career in packaging and hand assembly fulfillment and sort of got wet in the promotional products industry just through local folks. And I wasn't a supplier or anything. They would just rely on me to pack stuff up and go. Fast forward a little bit, got into printing, ended up merging with my current two partners in that business in 2009, started Keepsake. I had an idea always that packaging in the promotional products industry going back used to be a white corrugated box from Uline with a sticker on it. That was exciting, right? If you did that little crinkle cut, and when we got into packaging, basically I invented a box. I came up with the concept for a box. I got a patent on it. And then took it to market, right? So it took a little bit to get there because we wanted to be something different, something unique. And I had this idea that we can bring some really cool high-end packaging with like, lower runs that fit in the promo world, right? So fast forward, Keepsake was invented. It started out really slow. And I remember our first show, there was a rep, and I still know the guy, but he said, "What do you sell?" We were in a booth. We didn't know what we were doing. In fact, the night before we put together pricing in like a flash. I didn't even know I had to do it. So, excuse me. But the guy was next to me and he's like, "What do you sell?" I'm like, "Packaging." He goes, "You don't sell the product that are in it?" I go, "No, just the box. You'll never make it." By the end of the show, this was Orlando ASI, end of the show, we had such traction that this guy, he was a national sales rep. He's like, "Here's my card. Like, we'd like to represent you." And I was like, yeah. But anyway, that sort of tells you a history of like packaging wasn't big when we started, right? And today packaging is everything ASI,